My name is Tori Sizemore. Growing up, I swore I would never do pageants, even though my mom had done them. I reached a point when I was about 16, and I was just terrified to sing in front of anybody. I never sang in front of anyone, ever. And I got to the point where I was really tired of that, and I wanted to get over it. So I decided to enter a local pageant right here at Anderson University, actually, in Henderson Auditorium. There ended up being 300 people in the audience. I went out there shaking and managed not to faint or get sick, so that was my big accomplishment of the night. I actually ended up being the first runner-up, despite the fact that I just thought I was, terrified and looked like a scared little kitten. I was like, I want to do one more just to be able to do it without feeling this intense terror and just do it for fun, and I ended up winning that one. So I was 16 at the time, and I did those first two pageants, and that took me to a state competition. So coming to Anderson, it was hard because one, I was happy to take a break from that and get to just be a college student, but at the same time it was an adjustment of how do I do that, and I also knew that I didn't want to be known as a pageant girl, because not everybody has positive correlations to that. A lot of people have negative stereotypes. And I didn't want coming in, you want that fresh start when you come to college. You don't want to be tied down to your past. I came in, didn't really talk about it, didn't really tell anybody. There were some people who knew, like my roommate and a couple of others, but not a whole lot. Or so I thought. It turns out that on the Facebook freshman page, they had been posting about it. So there were people who knew, and when I would introduce myself, they'd go, "Oh, you're that girl." Not that girl, I'm Tori. I'm Tori, and I happen to have done that. But at the same time, I came to realize that I am Tori, who I am standing here now because of the experiences I had during that year. So the differences between pageant systems can vary a lot, but the two that I've competed in are the Miss America system and the Miss USA system. For a long time, people considered Miss USA to be like the vanity pageant or the dumb girl pageant. They'd say the pretty girls go to Miss USA and the smart girls go to Miss America. But it's been interesting in the last few years, you've seen a lot of crossover because the fact is you can be talented and decide to go to Miss USA. For me personally, I've done both. I started in America, and I think it's the reason I was prepared and able to go to the Miss USA system without missing a beat. That pageant system also really takes into account your platform and what you've done community service-wise. How much money have you raised? And what are your grades? What are your accomplishments? The idea of a platform is that we want to be more than just a pretty face, and we want to show that we have the brains and we have the talent in some cases, and then also that we have a heart and a heart for the community, and we're a public figure, we're setting an example. Personally, it was adoption and foster care because I've got 3 adopted little sisters. One was adopted privately, and the other 2 were a part of the foster care system before we were able to adopt them. Best thing I've taken out of pageantry is surprisingly just far better speaking skills, communication skills as a whole, and a new level of understanding of what I am actually capable of. Onstage question many times ends up being my favorite part. There's something about the pressure situation that kind of kicks in an overdrive side that the answers I give then, I could never give in a regular conversation. They come out so clearly and articulately, and that's just something I'm super grateful for. I can't claim any ownership of that, I guess. It's just really a blessing. But I think that just goes back to what is your God-given ability. Being part of pageantry has offered me a ton of opportunities. The best example I can give you is this past summer I participated in Miss South Carolina. I made the top 10, and that was great. I was fairly young going in, and talent is still my biggest struggle. I'm not a trained singer, so with that I was very, very happy. And a few months later, I got a call from the Fox studio down in Columbia where the pageant was hosted, and they wanted me to come in, and I am now their spokesperson for Nissan of Orangeburg. I do commercials and radio spots every month, and it pays my rent. So, there's a lot of ways that it can benefit you beyond the crown. But at the end of the day, it's really who you are and how you carry yourself. The stereotypes that come with that, I see basically my time in pageantry as a way to maybe try and break those for some people. I am very happy I participated in these. They've done amazing things for me, and they've definitely furthered me and put me on a different track than what I probably would have been if I had never entered that pageant 4 years ago. No doubt I would be a very different person to interact with if I hadn't done those things. I think at the core of who I am, I'm absolutely still Tori, but the way I look at the world and the way that I handle situations has changed a lot, and definitely for the better. But just let who I am on a day-to-day basis prove who I am, despite any titles or labels you might have for me.